Singapore, I visited his institute, the S. Rajaratnam Institute, which does very valuable work in the field of counterterrorism as an integral part of the Nanyang Technological University of Singapore. We have seen to it that our territorial waters, the Gulf of Mannar, the Cauvery Basin, the Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean, that these waters have not been used by other terrorist groups to work in concert in pursuit of their pernicious objectives. So with regard to refugee problems, with regard to the prevention of collaboration among terrorist groups, with regard to ensuring the security of sea lanes, the prevention of proliferation of weaponry, in all these areas, the armed forces of Sri Lanka have performed magnificent service, not only to the people of Sri Lanka, but to the countries of the region, and therefore, more broadly, to the international community. So these are the current challenges, and having regard to the range and the quality of the responses thus far by the armed forces of Sri Lanka, I would submit to you that there is every reason for confidence, not complacency. There's every reason for confidence with regard to the ability of the armed forces to deliver the results which are expected of them in full measure by the people of Sri Lanka. Now, before I conclude, I want to make some general observations about contemporary developments. And I think that the Kottalamada Defense University is the proper forum to make those observations. Consider some of the things that are happening in the world around us. I think it is time for the international community to reflect on these developments and their implications and repercussions. We are convinced as a government that at the end of the day, problems, however complex they may be, have to be resolved in a manner that is compatible with the culture, the traditions, the cherished beliefs of the people of the country in question. That is absolutely essential if you are interested in sustainability of the solutions that are put in place. It is not possible, and the empirical experience of Sri Lanka bears this out. Under the leadership of His Excellency the President and Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, we accomplished something that the world thought impossible. It is not the first time that was attempted. It had been attempted in the past. But the lesson to be learned from that entire sequence of events is that these are not problems that can be solved with the intervention of external forces. Of course we want assistance from our friends. But it is the elected government of the country and the people of the country who should be in the driving seat. It is they who must direct the process and make the crucial decisions. It is not possible for other countries to come in, entertaining the entirely unrealistic hope and expectation that they are able to come in, they are able to fix things, put things right instantly, and then move out. People who resort to such actions forget that the countries which they are entering have a history of their own. They have a certain social structure of their own. And it is that structure that imparts cohesion and stability to the social order. If you then move in, dismantle all of it, and then hope to be able to achieve a state of things which would make it possible for you to move out as swiftly as you came in, I think that is an exercise in self-delusion. Self-delusion. It is easy to come in, it is much more difficult to move out. That is why an exit strategy has proved to be so excruciatingly difficult. What do you then do? Once you move in, what are the limits of your intervention? Do you get embroiled in internecine conflicts, in conflicts within that country? Do you support one group against another? And if the answer is in the affirmative, where does that assistance stop? In the air, without action on the ground, if there's going to be action on the ground, indirectly or directly, if you're going to supply arms, who will be the recipients of these arms? And what is the control that those who provide the arms will be able to exercise over those who receive the arms? What is the guarantee of law and order and stability? And at the end of the day, now this is the really crucial question. Are things better as a result of the intervention, or are they worse? All of this is done in the name of the well-being of the people of those countries. Now, if that is the governing criterion, and if you apply that criterion honestly and consistently, then in one's own conscience, one has to examine the question whether the condition of the people of those countries has improved or deteriorated in consequence of the intervention. There's also the question of the reactions within those countries. We have seen very graphically, very vividly, some of the expressions of opinion in those countries with regard to these adventures. We live in a world where financial resources are by no means infinite. They're finite resources. There's a paucity of resources all over the world, including in some of the wealthiest and most powerful countries. Now we see a reaction on the part of ordinary people who are asking the question, if you're depriving us of social benefits, if the old are to be hungry, if they are to be deprived of heating in winter, if education is going to cost much more than it did earlier, if problems with regard to unemployment are getting more and more acute, and if the capacity of the state to assist the people of those countries, the vulnerable segments of their communities, to deal with these pressing problems, having to do with health, education, welfare, all of this, employment. If those resources are to be utilized for intervention in other countries, in circumstances where the results that are produced are far from unequivocal in terms of the benefits that are anticipated, then is that a situation that would meet with total acceptance on the part of the people of the countries which are engaging in the intervention? So you have to look at it from 2 points of view, 2 perspectives. The perspective of the people living in the countries where there has been this intervention,